me wanna holler, go away. I need more peace and hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
Oh, you know we need them. Yeah, we do. We need those strategies, don't we? Those strategies for living. Are you ready? Ready for your daily dose of radio rehab?
I'm ready.
Yeah, well, you better buckle your seatbelt today. Hey, folks, hope you are ready and that you buckle in too. Welcome into Strategies for Living. I'm Dr. David McMillian, and she is psychotherapist, PLPC, Lauren Leon McMillian. You know, our mind is an amazing thing.
Beyond the power that we even recognize right now, I believe. Yeah,
but, you know, we're going to talk today. Our life strategist is somebody who has made a career about helping all of us get the most out of our minds. She is Karen Ross. And Karen helps people that have blocks. Yeah. Whether it be business or on the golf course or sports competition or testing, Karen helps people through performance, mindset, sports hypnosis, deep coaching. Isn't that?
I heard the hypnosis word.
You heard.
So that's her main modality of helping, I suppose.
You heard the H word, and you know I'm looking forward to exploring this. As you know, it's something that has been a part of my practice for many, many years, and I've just had some amazing things happen. With regard to hypnosis.
Well, I think like you mentioned at the beginning, we don't recognize the power of the mind, but more importantly, the subconscious mind, right? The huge piece of us that is that subconscious mind.
And I'm sure Karen will help us to unpack that a bit today. We probably need to unpack it more.
Absolutely. I think it's important that we understand what it is and what it isn't.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to get an opportunity to do that today.
All right.
With life strategist Karen Ross. Folks, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here with us on Strategies for Living. And we appreciate our sponsors who make it all possible. The Robinson Film Center and Azalea Cleaners and Pintail Roofing and Learning RX and the Balanced Life Wellness Center and Fertitas Delicatessen, home of The Godfather, Alligator Italian Sausage, and some pretty good muffies too. Back in a moment with Karen Ross here on Strategies for Living. Stay with us.
Tune in daily, find the light. Healthy mind and spirits bright. Strategies for living strong. Feel the vibe, it won't go wrong. Body moves and soul align. Catch the rhythm, feel the time. Radio rehab every day. Chase those clouds of gray away. Your daily dose of radio rehab. Lift you up when skies seem trapped. Mind and body, spirits free. Living life in harmony.
And welcome into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian. Let's welcome into the program now Karen Ross. You know, people turn to Karen when they have some kind of mental block, whether that be in business, maybe on the golf course, during sports competition, or testing. and they know they can do better. And Karen uses solution-focused coaching and hypnosis, a proven method for fast, lasting change. She's also expanded her practice to support people navigating fertility challenges, whether wanting to conceive naturally or through medical treatment. Now, that is interesting. So Karen's clients learn mindset tools used by achievers, high achievers like Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods and Oprah and even Einstein and Churchill. With a background in executive search and years of interviewing thought leaders like Dr. Wayne Dyer, she brings real-world insight that makes change happen. So, Karen Ross, welcome into Strategies for Living.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. It's my honor to be with you both. I appreciate what you're doing here with this show and what the two of you have done and continue to do behind the scenes.
Oh, heck, we're just having fun.
Yeah.
We don't, sometimes we don't know what we're doing, Karen. We just... But
well,
thank
isn't
you.
that when you have the most? Is that when you have the most fun?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
And we've got something in common in that you got to interview Dr. Wayne Dyer. I got to interview Dr. Dyer 2 or 3 times here on Strategies. He was a wonderful life strategist. So gracious when he would come on, and such a wonderful such a wonderful teacher. For us. And
I still find a couple of, he wrote so many books, but I find a couple of them I just keep going back to. And I don't have that many books that I do that with.
Yeah.
But I just find so much from particularly Wishes Fulfilled, Change Your Life.
He got to laughing.
Change Your Life.
He got to laughing here on the program about, I was asking him about one of his first books that kind of put him on the map. And it was a book called Your Erroneous Zones.
Yes. Yeah.
And he laughed and he said, it sold a bunch of copies because everybody thought it was another word. It was another word, your erogenous zones. And so he said, I kind of snuck in the back door on him.
Yep, that's true. Well, it certainly set the stage for him. There's no question. And I have to add that with the background that the two of you have, and then Dr. Dyer or Wayne, my father, my late father, was a psychotherapist, a psychologist.
Okay.
And so he did much of the same work that the two of you are doing. And I'm sure there's a crossover. I can't really share with him anymore. He's gone now.
Right.
But I do remember when he got trained and certified in hypnosis.
Yeah.
So I was introduced to it many, many years ago before I knew enough to ask much about it.
Wow.
So now it feels like I've come full circle in that way as to being able to help people. And then adding hypnosis is like the icing on the cake as far as I'm concerned.
That's cool. Had you thought about that before? Were you really well versed in it as a kid, or was it something you just happened upon later and came back to?
No, I came back to it not that long ago, a few years ago.
Oh.
But then I immediately recalled, well, I have some background to draw on here, some history.
Yeah.
And that made it. And I think my father was quite adept at it and was quite he used self-hypnosis, which a lot of people don't realize they can learn.
Yep.
And then he was very effective in working with some of his clients. And I remember in particular, I'll just mention this briefly, we had several families that we used to have Thanksgiving dinner with. And there might have been 20, 25 of us total. And one year we were meeting at someone's home where they had an electric stove. And one of the women had never used one. and she wanted to find out if the burners were hot.
Ooh.
And she laid, I don't even like to say the words, but she was in extreme pain. It was not enough that she needed to be hospitalized or anything like that, but she was in extreme pain. My father was able to take her into a room and hypnotize her. And when she came out, she had absolutely no pain.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So it is amazing. It is amazing. Yes, absolutely.
I had a similar experience, and it was fortuitous for me because it happened right after my certification. I had a client I was working with, and I just happened to share, I'm going to get certified in hypnosis, and she just insisted, I want to be your first victim.
Whoa, nice.
And so, literally, I got back on a Sunday and was with her on Monday evening, and the experience was, I was back then working late nights, and I was in an office building that the cleaning crew came in, and I happened to have an office that opened, had two doors. One door opened to the building's one of the building hallways, and the other door opened to our suite of offices. And so I was sitting across from this young lady, and I had just invited her into a trance, and I'll be dadgum, I heard the guy start the vacuum cleaner outside of the door, and I panicked on the inside of me. I panicked on the inside. I didn't interrupt my flow, but I thought to myself, now they didn't teach us what to do if somebody turned on a vacuum cleaner. And so, but she didn't appear to me to be, disturbed by it.
Yeah.
Well, I heard the suite door open. I mean, it seemed to me like he vacuumed there at the outside door for an eternity. And then I heard the suite door, the office suite door open. And I'll be dadgum if he didn't come and hook up the vacuum cleaner by, guess what? The other door.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh no.
And so far, probably, I didn't time it, but for probably 2/3 of that session, a vacuum cleaner was running by one of the doors. So I invited her to come back. She wanted to work on something very specific, and so that's what we did. And when she came back out of trance, I asked her, I didn't want to, say, well, what, I didn't want to lead or anything. I said, well, how was that? And she said, oh my goodness, it was so relaxing. And she said, I got very, very relaxed. But she said, I remember everything that you said. And I said, so did you hear anything unusual? And she said, no, just the sound of your voice. And then I told her what had happened. And she said, that's what that was. And she said, she said, that's what that was. Now that you say it, she said, it sounded like, she said, I didn't know what it was. It sounded like it was far, far in the distance. And I pointed, I said, no, it was right there and then right there. My office wasn't a big office. And so, but that told me, and that showed me very early the power of focus and how hypnosis brings us into a certain kind of focus. State, yeah.
Absolutely. And I know that sometimes I'm in a high rise in Chicago, and every once in a while there will be sirens. I live in the city.
Yeah.
And so I will say, if we're at that point, and I try to remember to say it all the time, actually, that if they hear anything outside of what we are experiencing, either side, on my side or something going on at on their side, that it just makes them go deeper and deeper.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that works. it typically works.
So, again, the mind is such an amazing thing. And,
right.
why don't we do more? Why do you think we've got about a minute or so before I got to go to break? Why don't you think we do hypnosis and use hypnosis more, Karen?
Well, I think that to fully understand hypnosis and what I do, what you've done, what we've started to talk about is to fully understand the power of the subconscious mind.
Mm.
Why we don't use it more often? I'm surprised at how many people do not acknowledge that they have two minds.
Yeah.
They have a conscious mind that can accept, reject, ignore any information it receives. It's
Right.
the thinking mind. It's practical, analytic. It's noisy. I mean, so it judges us. Sometimes it talks to us in pretty unkind terms.
Yeah.
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 And it can be really mean sometimes.
Well,
But the subconscious mind, on the other hand, can only accept. This is where our beliefs live. That's where all the information in our lives is held in our
Right.
subconscious mind.
let's
And when
let's
we,
let's take a quick break here, and then let's come back and let's talk
Sure.
about those two minds and get into
Okay.
the power of hypnosis. Karen Ross
Sounds
now,
good.
KarenRossNow.com. That's what you want to look for. Karen Ross is our life strategist today, right here on Strategies for Living. We'll be right back. Much more to learn and much more to come.
All have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies for living radio.
Oh man, do we have strategies today? If you could talk to that part of the mind
The one that holds it all.
yeah,
All the records.
kind of open sesame, Karen Ross is our life strategist today, and she's leading us into that. KarenRossNow.com. Karen uses hypnosis in her practice, and she can work with people all over. So, wherever you might be located, Karen can work with you, and you can find out more. You can find out more at KarenRossNow.com. She does sports hypnosis, deep coaching, performance mindset expert is what she is. So, Karen, you were beginning to talk about the two minds and the difference between them. Kind of, I guess it's getting us into Hypnosis 101, isn't it?
Well, it really is, because hypnosis really it works in the subconscious mind. And that is, as we were starting to talk about the conscious mind being so loud, and the subconscious mind can only accept what it hears. This is where our beliefs live and our new beliefs are formed. And that's something I think a lot of people don't realize, that you can change a belief. A belief is just something you think all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So you change those thoughts and you can change those beliefs. And the really cool thing about the subconscious mind, it doesn't talk back. It doesn't make judgments. It doesn't think between the lines. So we can feed it the kind of information we want it to have, which will carry over into our behavior.
Mm.
And it accepts typically the strongest of two thoughts. So if we think, well, I'm worthless, and then we replace that with, I am worthy. I am so good at what I do. I am so, and just crowd out that conscious mind that has the negative message. The subconscious mind accepts that new information and helps us create a new belief.
Yeah.
And typically our subconscious mind thinks and acts in our best interest. And if we really access it and accept how powerful it is, it can be life-changing.
Yes.
I mean, there's no question.
Yes. And a lot of people don't realize, Karen, I think that, if whatever you want to, maybe you have something in the past that you need to get past, if you will, pardon the pun, that you can do that by accessing the unconscious mind in hypnosis, because it's the conscious mind that understands past, present, and future.
Right.
Those concepts that we've created, very important to live our lives. But to the unconscious mind, everything is present now. Yeah. Everything is here and now. So that's a magnificent gift, isn't it?
Well, it is. And the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. So when we feed it information that maybe we're not experiencing in our life at the moment, but it's so much of what we want, and we create that image, we create what that looks like, and assume the feeling of what that feels like, that tells our subconscious mind, that's what he wants. Oh, okay, I'll move in that direction. So that's what I think, going back to your original question, why do we not use this more often? I think it's a couple of things. There are a lot of misunderstandings about hypnosis, and then the lack of understanding of how powerful it really, really can be.
Yeah. Don't you think that a lot of us maybe have a movie or TV image of hypnosis? You are getting sleepy.
Watch the clock.
Yeah.
When I almost always ask that question first, so I know what is our starting point. And if somebody says, all I know is what I've seen on TV or in movies, then I know that's where we start.
Right.
We say, well, that's not necessarily how it works. And then to feed that information and educate the person in how powerful it can be in actually living and changing your life. It isn't just entertainment.
Right.
And that's out there. I don't happen to like it because of that, because it gives people a misrepresentation of something that can be so valuable, so life-changing.
Absolutely. I mean, I've a couple of times, I haven't been any time in the recent past, but a couple of times in my life, I've been to a comedy club and watched somebody doing hypnosis. And that's real hypnosis. I mean, the people, the people that are there but what people don't understand is that those people, no good stage hypnotherapist is going to go and say, you come up, you come up, you come up. There's a subtle thing that happens, and that is who wants to volunteer. Well, if you're in a comedy club and you're in a hypnosis show, anybody that volunteers is kind of saying unconsciously, I want to help you entertain this crowd. And
exactly.
and so
I want to be on stage.
I want to be
I
on
want
stage.
people to see me.
And what you'll notice if you've ever been to one of those programs, that if there's 12 people that come up on the stage and volunteer, well, probably at least 6 or 7 of them are going to be sent back, because the only people that are going to remain up there are the people who, are most likely to go quickly into trance. Not that we can't all go into trance.
But there's a level of hypnotizability.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, absolutely. Well, talking about the effectiveness of hypnosis on the life-changing aspect, there have been several studies comparing it to other forms of psychoanalysis and behavior therapy.
Right.
And it's, I would never say anything to diminish the value of any other form of therapy that helps somebody.
Right.
But it's just so much faster and often longer lasting.
Sure.
And I'm looking at some statistics where the numbers have varied a little bit from study to study, but they almost come out about the same. But they took a number of like 100 some psychoanalysis sessions, and people experienced about 38% change. And then they looked at behavior therapy, and again, a large number of sessions. I think, well, maybe 22 sessions, I think, in this one study.
Right.
And they got 72% change. Well, guess what? With hypnosis, only 6 sessions, 93%.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But
it is amazing.
But it makes sense because you're getting right to the root, to where everything is stored.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And
all of us, go ahead, I'm sorry.
You're doing some, I mean, you using that. I mean, it's amazing to me what you're doing and what you've gotten into, Karen.
Yes.
In terms of helping people. A lot of people, once they run into a roadblock with having children, having some type of fertility challenge, right? And you know, obviously the first place that most people are going to turn is the medical route. And, I mean, we can do, you know, there are medical miracles out there, you know.
Sure.
And yet, you know, to understand that you can use hypnosis to support people who are navigating through these challenges, whether they want to conceive naturally or whether they're doing some type of medical treatment. Hypnosis can help them, and what you do is you've begun to specialize in that and really help people. What kind of feedback have you gotten so far? What's happened so far, Karen? I bet you've got some stories for us.
Oh, well, I will tell you this, that whenever I mention it, and I usually mention it to women, which I guess is, you know, kind of a logical thing. Yeah. And they say, oh my God, that is such a hot topic. And I don't necessarily travel in those circles. You know, I'm older, I'm not of childbearing age. And so those aren't necessarily the people I'm spending time with, but often the women I'm talking to are. They're very connected, and especially with professional women. I've been talking to a lot of female attorneys, and they have a special problem because they are functioning in what always has been seen as a man's world.
Yeah.
And they take on certain attitudes and behaviors and beliefs that can sometimes preclude them conceiving.
Interesting.
And that's where that would be just one example where we can go in and help them change their thoughts, change the beliefs. You mentioned IVF. Now, for most people, that's a last resort.
Right.
And we do encourage people to try hypnosis, try working with somebody like me before you spend all that money. But if you're already on that journey, we can help it happen faster. And we can help someone get away from the mental blocks that brought them to the point that they are participating in IVF. And that's usually a hesitation. They still have doubt about whether or not they can get pregnant.
Right.
And we help them not only get pregnant, but we focus on having a baby. You know, that's what they want. They want to have a baby. They don't want to just get pregnant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we work with them to visualize that baby and talk to that baby and tell that baby how we can't wait for you to be here. We are so excited. And whereas some potential or expecting parents will hesitate to buy baby things, hesitate to do certain things. We tell them, go do that.
Go do that. KarenRossNow.com. That's how you get Karen. KarenRossNow.com. And if you're interested in any of the things we're talking about, check out Karen Ross. KarenRossNow.com. We've got more to talk with Karen Ross about today on strategies, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Strategies for Living Radio.
And welcome back in. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian. We are visiting today with a very, very interesting life strategist. She is Karen Ross, and Karen is a performance mindset expert. She does sports hypnosis. She does deep coaching, and also, as we were talking about, helps people with fertility challenges. And if you're interested, you can look her up and touch base with her through her website, KarenRossNow.com. Doesn't matter where you are, Karen, you work with people all over. Well, you can work with people all over the world now, can't you?
Well, I really can. Sure. I know there are parts of the country that, could be the middle of the night for me, and that's not, that's probably not my main choice. But yes, it's true. I can work with people all over because all of my sessions are on Zoom, and people like that because they can be in their own environment, be very comfortable, which is certainly what we want them to experience, to be comfortable and relaxed. And I would hope that anybody interested in what we've talked about so far, I offer a complimentary initial conversation to determine whether or not we're a match. So I want them to feel free to contact me and have that initial conversation. But I love talking. Oh,
what's the deal with like sports performance and things like that? There's a lot of people probably listening to us right now. Maybe want to improve their golf game, their tennis game. We might have some college athletes that are, it's that time of year where
varsity,
we're getting into from varsity high school football is kicking off, college football everybody's excited about. You work in this area, right? You work with people who want to improve their sports performance.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because I've been working with college students just recently, one from an Ivy League college, another from an elite, and it was actually their dads that brought them to me because they saw where their son was so good at what they did, and yet they had a mental block that kept them from being better, from hitting that next level. There was that negative conscious voice that would say things that you're not as good as you think you are. And an area in sports hypnosis that we need to be aware of is injury. And when somebody's coming back from injury, they may think they're ready and in the back of their mind, it's like, oh my God, what if I get hurt again? What if I'm not as strong as I was before? So those are just examples of what can come up. But I have to tell you, I hope I have time to tell a real brief story.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Had a recent client who, this isn't high school or college, he's a retired physician. But his main focus now, in addition to writing a ton of books, is to be better at his golf game. And he said, I play with the same guys every Friday. I just want to get better. I want to be more consistent and so on. So we start working together, and I asked him what would be his dream score. And he gave me a number, and he said, oh, but I'll never golf that score. That's impossible. That's never going to happen. Well, we ended up working together, and pretty soon he gave me a wonderful testimonial that he had changed his swing, he changed his position, he changed this, that, and the other thing. Had much more consistency in his game, but he didn't mention any numbers. Well, about 7 months later, I got a picture from him, and on his chest, he had a poster that had that number on it.
Wow.
And he was holding his golf score. He had golfed that score the day before.
Wow.
Wow.
And he was the one that said, well, I'll never golf that score.
Right.
Yeah.
So that gives an example of how powerful the subconscious mind is, because I suggested that he put that number every place, on the inside of his door, the outside of his door, on the dash of his car, on his bathroom mirror. When he opened his laptop, he just saw that number. I said, you don't have to stop and think about it. Just see the number. Just see it. Well, guess what? the subconscious got the message.
Yeah, it's amazing how
So,
many people in the professional athletics have used Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal,
yes.
Tiger Woods, Joe DiMaggio in baseball, Muhammad Ali in boxing,
Yeah.
Andre Agassi in tennis. All of them have acknowledged the using hypnosis to improve their game.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
I wish more people knew that. You and I are getting the two of you and I are getting the message out there. But yeah, I think people are shocked when they hear that.
Yeah. I mean, and basically it's interesting because it's a wonderful way to underscore the power of hypnosis. And I'm not just talking about for professional athletes, for, at any, we all, when we go play a game, most of us want to do it well. We want to be good at it.
Sure.
And,
Sure.
and so all that's happening in hypnosis is where that part of our mind that has the lingering doubts, that's in the conscious mind.
Right.
But
Exactly.
if you invite that to step out of the way, and you invite that unconscious, that vast part of your mind to take over, the word that comes to my mind is flow. Getting in the flow. Yeah.
Yeah. Even when we're talking about sports, and when I talk to someone about their efforts becoming easy and effortless, they look at me kind of like, what? I should be working hard on this, on the field or the court or whatever. And yes, you're working using the muscles and the skills that you've developed, but the easier, the more effortless it is, it's just natural. And your attitude is, well, I've got this made. This was automatic for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So that can really change things.
Yeah. Well, if somebody is interested, they go to your website, KarenRossNow.com. Then what happens, Karen? What happens if somebody's interested and wants more info after they look at the website?
Well, they can look at the website and have any level of interest and schedule a call with me. And they have an opportunity on the website to reach my calendar and book a time. Or they can email me directly, which is just info@KarenRossNow.com. And we'll have that initial conversation, which is, of course, complimentary. And I'll answer any questions they have, and then we'll determine if we're a good match. And then we would proceed from there. I typically start people with a program of 5 sessions, and often what they want to accomplish can happen within that time. But some people really like the ongoing coaching and the inclusion of hypnosis here and there.
Sure.
And so at that point, after those 5 sessions, they can make that decision if they want to continue. And I'm very flexible.
Start the process at KarenRossNow.com. We got to take a break. We'll be back with more strategies in just a moment. And welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian with Karen Ross. And you can find her, KarenRossNow.com. That's the way to begin the link up if you are interested in improving your performance. Maybe you're interested in that fertility stuff. Well, Karen Ross Now can help. KarenRossNow.com. Karen, we've covered a lot of ground today in a short period of time. What do you want to leave people with? What do you want people to take away from our conversation today?
I want them to understand that they do have these two minds, a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Their subconscious mind is the most powerful presence they have in their life. And when they learn how to access it and acknowledge the power of the subconscious mind, they can change anything in their life that they want to.
It's up.
How's that?
It's up. That's wonderful.
Wonderful.
All right, so folks, it all starts. It's on you now. KarenRossNow.com. Easy to get there. Lots of information on the website. Website is being updated as we speak, and so keep following it. But if you're, if you've said, hey, maybe I want to try this out, well, KarenRossNow.com. Karen, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a great life
you.
strategist today here on Strategies for Living.
Well, thank you. And thanks to both of you for what you're contributing to everyone.
You are quite welcome.
Strategy.
Well, we can do that because of our wonderful sponsors, the Robinson Film Center and Azalea Cleaners and Pintail Roofing and Learning RX and the Balanced Life Wellness Center and Fertitas Delicatessen, home of the Godfather, alligator Italian sausage, and some pretty good muffies, too. If today were the last day of your life and you only had one more phone call that you could make, who would you call and what would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Karen Ross and for Lauren Leon McMillian, I'm David McMillian. We'll see you next time right here on Strategies for Living.